Today we're going to take a look at some basic stuff in Java. So going back to text, here's what I'm trying to get at. And that's the string class. Now the string class is one you'll use all the time because you manipulate text so much with computers. So it's worth to know some of the methods that are in there and some of the ones that I'm going to expect you to know about. So the first thing we're going to do then is we're going to get some text out. So let's bring the scanner class into our program. And we'll get some simple keyboard text. Okay, so keyboard dot next line. Okay. I might as well give them a prompt too, just so they know, well, so we know what we're doing. Type something. Anything. Okay. So basically all this program is going to do is get you to enter some text, but we're going to show you how to manipulate it. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how long the text is. So some of the methods you're going to be responsible for. The first one is length. So here's, once I get the text from the person, remember I can use this variable to refer to at any time. So what I'm going to do is just say print line. The text you have entered is text.length characters long. So remember, when you ask an object to do something, we call the dot operator and it gives us a method. So in this case, it's going to give me the length of that text. So let's run that program. It's pretty uneventful. I think you can predict what's going to happen. So there's my text, and I'll say, hello. It says the text you entered is 6 characters long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. So sometimes when somebody gives you something, you want to know how much space you need or how big it is or where it's going to fit. Length can get you the length. Alright, so I'm going to show you another method that we can use now with that, and that's the index of. So index of is a little trickier. It's going to tell us where we found the character we were looking for. So let's just put another prompt here. What do you want to find in that text? And I'll read in another line. So I'll call it find. Okay. So now I'm going to find this, why don't we call it target? That's probably a better name. I'm going to find this target inside that text. So the way you do it is you say text.index of and target. So let me show you. System.out.println. I guess we can just start with target. Was found at, we'll call it index, text dot give me the index of the target. Okay, so we'll run the program so you can see how it works, but the target was found at index, and it will go through this text looking for the thing you've asked me to find. Let's give it a try. Type something, anything. So I'm going to type something a little longer here. Let's write, I like Java a lot. Well, not enough to want to marry it, but lots. So 65 characters long. What do I want to find? Let's just say that I want to find Java. Okay. If I type Java, when it looks for the index, indexes always start at 0. So there's going to be other things in Java that we use indexes for, but indexes start at 0. So this is 0, the I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Java starts at position 7. So that's where it was found. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this just to save us some time. So if I run that program again, what do I want to find this time? Well, what if this time I wanted to find, why don't we try A, okay? It could be a single character. This time when I find it, it's always going to find the first one. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how do I get the other ones? Because there's an A there, there's another A there, there's another A there, there's lots of different ones there. So how would I, get past that? Well, it just told me that it happened at index 8. So if I want to find that target, but I want to find a different instance of it, I can put another thing in here, which is the starting point. So what this means is find the target starting at a different position. Okay, so let's add another dimension to this program. Next int. So what I'm going to do is say, where do you want me to start? Or we'll ask, what index should I start looking? So I'll read that in, and I'll put it here. Oops, sorry, start. So this time when I run the program, oops, one more time, I would like you to find the letter A, and if I look through my indexes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's just say I want to find this A way down here, okay? So to get past this first one, that's at index 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If I start by looking at index 13, the next one it's going to find is here. So let's find out what that is. Start at index 13, found at 39. Okay, so we can double check here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So it did in fact find the one we were looking for by changing where it was going to start looking. Okay, so that's the way that index of is found. That one's a little trickier. You're probably going to want to look through our PowerPoint slides. There's some animated slides there, so don't just look at the screen. Actually run the slideshow and it'll step through some of the animations for you. Okay, the next most common thing you're going to want to do is substrings. So we're going to do exactly what we did before, but I'm not going to illustrate the index of method to you, so I'm going to get rid of this part here. And this time, what I'm going to do, we don't need length anymore either, is I'm going to ask for a piece of a string, and I'll show you how it works. So, whoops, I think I have too much there, so I just want to get rid of this. Don't need that part. So we'll type something in, and then I'll say system.out.println where, well, we'll be specific. What index do you want me to start at? And then I'll do the same thing, out.println. What index do you want me to end at? So let's get some indexes, and int start is equal to keyboard.nextInt, and int end is keyboard.next, oops, int there. Okay, so now I will display for you the piece of that string. The substring you have created is, and I'll go text, and I'm asking for a substring, meaning a portion of the string itself. So the one we're going to use here is start, and end. So what it does is it goes into the string and it starts at the index you give me, and it will go all the way through until it hits end. However, end is not included. It's including the start but excluding the end. So let me just show you then, if we run this program, what it'll look like. Okay, so let's get this word Java out of it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is where I start. So I want to start at index 7. And if I wanted to end at 8, 9, 10, watch what happens. The substring I've created is Jav. The problem is 10 won't be included because the end is excluded. It's starting at this index here, ending at this index, but not part of the substring itself. Okay, so you actually have to go one past. So I'll show you, if you want to run it again, to get a proper substring, we said start at index 8, and sorry, was it 8 or 7? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it was 7. Okay, so I'm going to run, sorry, my apologies, I'll run this again real quick. The index I want to start is 7, and then 10 was this one, so I actually want to go to 11, because this space here won't be included, but everything from the J up to it will be. So now I'm going to get Java out of it properly. Substring I've created is Java. So one kind of easy way to fix it is go to the start to the n plus 1. That way the pieces that I'm getting will all be inside the string. So if I make that short change to my program, now when I run it and I say, what do I want to start at? Let's get something here like, let's get the word like. 0, 1, 2 is where I start, and 3, 4, 5 is the end. It's going to capture the whole thing though now, because it's not stopping at end, it's stopping at n plus 1. So the substring I got now is the whole thing like. Alright, so there is another way you can use the substring, another way you can build it up, and that is just to give it the first beginning of your string. So for example, what index do you want me to start at? That's the only thing I'm going to ask this time. The substring I've created is, and I'm just going to use the other version. So text.substring is just with one index. It's going to be the first position all the way to the end. So let's see what it looks like when I do this. Okay, so there's my string. So let's just say that I wanted to start at index 7. The substring I've created is Java a lot, well, not enough to marry it, but lots. Because it started here, and because I didn't specify the end, it carries it all the way to the end of the string. So that's how substring works when you only give it one index. Now again, I'm going to recommend that you go and either try these programs that I've done, and you can type them with me, play around with them, or also you're going to want to take a look at the slides that I've got, some animations showing again how the substring works to help wrap your mind around it. And of course, another great place to go if you're not entirely sure about what's available to you is just to do a Google search on the Java string class. I'll remind you that Oracle are the owners of the Java platform. That's where you want to go. And so all the information's there. Here's how to build them. And here's the methods. There's just a ton of different things in here. We've really only scratched the surface. But like I said, text is such a big part of what you're doing with the computer that there's lots of support here. And there's other classes and strings that deal with text. Tons of stuff. But again, this is the place to start. If you're looking for something to do with a string, go to the documentation and see what you can find. A couple other things, for example, like it might be handy for you to see this, to lowercase. That would drop the whole string into a lowercase string. There's also a to uppercase. You can trim things. You can make it a double, turn a double into a string. There's lots of different methods that we'll visit here. But for now, anyways, those are the methods I'm expecting you to know about. They are in the slides, so these are the ones that I was referring to: length, index of, and substring. After you have a chance to look through some of those, then I'm going to show you just a couple of the ones that I recommend here. These are the ones I use most often, which is why they're worth you kind of looking at a little bit ahead of time, but when we get there you'll see them, but they're handy ones as well in the string class. Okay, so that should be enough for you to get started on your assignment using strings and manipulating text.